Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's the young gunner, DJ G-Wiz, back again with another one. Um, man, I'm tired, man. Tired. So just really getting back in the groove of everything since my trip to Brooklyn. We did some work at Goat Studios. Much love to Goat Studios. In the last video, we talked about why I stopped DJing. So I want to go back to that. This will be part two of why I stopped DJing. But first, I must go back. There was a lot of stuff that I left out in the beginning of that video. I didn't really even set it up correctly. I was just doing so much at the studio. But like I said, I needed to get the story out there. So to go back in the story, I want to thank some other people as well. Let's start off like that. So I want to really take the time to thank my mom and dad for supporting me on my DJ career specifically. My mom and dad, especially my dad, he was the first investor that I had. My mom invested into me as well. She helped me plan stuff. She helped me come up with concepts and ideas. I ran a lot through my mom as far as ideas and financial things like that. But my dad sowed the seed. I remember I was about 16. I was working at Nike Outlet at the time. I worked the entire summer at Nike Outlet, and he matched the money I made, and he helped me get the MPC 1000. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. He also, him and my mom, helped me purchase my first set of speakers. So I really, really, truly appreciate that. Even before I had my license, I was DJing crazy. I think I had finished up high school. But my dad actually picked me up and took me to gigs. He would help me set up my equipment. And those were some fun times, man. So I want to thank my parents as obviously number one supporters. Also, I had to pull out some old merch since we're talking about my DJ career. It was a fun time. It was a fun ride. And again, I'm grateful for you guys. I'm thankful that you guys were on that journey with me. Also, I want to talk about one of my mentors who passed during COVID, DJ Kilo. Love you, DJ Kilo. You showed me a lot. He's the guy that actually gave me the nickname the Young Gunner. He used to call me the Young Gun. Be like, what's going on, Young Gun? G-Wiz, what you doing, man? We went to some games together. He was a huge Wizards and Redskins fan. We did a lot together. He put me onto a lot of gigs, and he always made sure that my thoughts were in the right place and that I was always consistently throwing some old school in the mix. He always gave me history lessons. Every time I got around him, I felt like I would pick up a new song that maybe I wasn't aware of, like an old school song. So, not to say too much, but rest in peace, DJ Kilo. I'm so sorry that I couldn't make it to your homegoing service. Back in COVID, I was in LA, but I love you and I thank you for everything that you did for me while you were here on Earth. So let's get back into it. So we talked about the health. We talked about relationships yesterday. Let's talk about the unpredictable schedule. So that's one thing that I absolutely hated about DJing was the unpredictable schedule, meaning you think you have a night off and you don't. So a lot of times there would be kind of gaps in my calendar and it would freak me out because normally I'm working. So am I really off, or did I just forget about a gig? Um, I don't know if you guys have tried booking me before, but I don't take deposits for that reason. Because if you give me that money, that gig, it's already done in my mind. So I specifically do not take deposits for my gigs. Well, when I DJ, I didn't take deposits because that was like a big fear of mine that I took your money for an event and I totally forgot about it, or I double booked. So that was one thing, the unpredictable schedule. At any point, you could be out on a date, you could be on vacation with your family. Somebody will shoot you a text, be like, hey, man, you want to make some money? I need a DJ here. Can you be here at 10? Can you be here at 10:30? And you really get a chance to know who you are as an individual when you get those texts and you just jump on it right away. I noticed that about myself, and it kind of threw me off. I didn't really think I was money hungry, but I don't think I turned many of those gigs down. And then as soon as I committed to it, then I felt like all the guilt and the pressure. Like, I didn't even have to take that gig. Why did I have to take that gig? I could have just been here at the house, sleeping, having a good meal, enjoying myself. But now I just put that extra pressure on me because I'm not even prepared for it. My stuff isn't even with me. Now I got to go to the house. I got to grab my stuff, wrap up the chords. Because DJs, we never wrap up the chords. Never. So you just snatch and grab, you know? Anyways, so that point. Unpredictable schedule, you know? What else? Let's talk about the BS. That's another reason. It just always seems like every single time there was something going on. And my light cut out on me. But we're going to keep it going. Every single time there was something going on at the club. Not one club specifically, but all clubs. There's always something going on. Whether there's a fight, whether they don't have your money or they didn't make the money. And now they try and make that your problem. Like, I didn't tell you guys to throw this party. I knew this party was going to fail, but you guys didn't listen to me. But now you're talking to me and saying, hey, we didn't do that well today. Can we pay you this? No, that's not what we agreed on. There are so many gigs out there that I'm still owed money on. There's so many promoters that were not real promoters. They're like janky promoters where I just did one gig with them. A lot of those people, they owe me money from years ago. But you know what? I let it slide. And I let that be the last time I work with that person. And some of my other DJ homies, I made that call. I told you guys, hey, if such and such calls you, don't even answer because he still owed me money. Straight up like that. I mean, we don't play about money. Like I said, I handled it the best way I could without it going to another level. I just cut them off altogether and I just moved on because in my mind, that money is already going to come back to me. I don't need to, do anything extra. I did my part. I did what I was asked to do. So I always felt like that money was going to find me either way, even though they tried to screw me out of it. I got it some kind of way. Anyway, so that's the BS. So after a while, you get tired of it. And it's almost like you come to expect it. It just happens with every gig that you do. It's never just an easy gig. You know what I mean? It's always something like there's always some underlying thing that you got to deal with. Whether, like I said, it's a fight, the people are annoying, the money ain't there, your equipment, you have equipment issues, somebody didn't show up on time, so they're holding you up. maybe let's just say you're DJing and it's a huge venue, a venue that you didn't have enough sound for. So you hire a sound guy, but he's running late. And that makes you look bad. So it's always some level of BS around it, you know? Next one, my production career. A lot of you guys that are really, really like, I guess, if you guys really know me, you've known that I've always made beats. The issue with DJing and producing, it's two different things. One thing kind of helps the other, but the other one doesn't necessarily help out the other craft, if that made any sense. So let me just say that again differently. So with my production, with me making beats, DJing helps me with producing. I don't think producing helps me DJ better, if that makes sense. So a lot of times I missed out on opportunities because my beats were trash. My beats were trash for a long time, but I had connections to artists and songwriters, but they could never take me seriously because I wasn't 100% committed to making beats, which means half my time was spent on making beats, and the other time I was DJing. And so with the DJ thing in the mix and drinking and then running around, doing the most, I wasn't able to focus on my production, meaning I wasn't able to put in the time, the hours, the effort to make sure my beats were good, meaning I had updated drums. I was using high quality samples or just having everything organized so that when I wanted to make beats, everything's in order and I can just go into flow state, meaning I can just cook up. That was a huge factor, a huge determining factor of me moving to LA, is because I wanted to separate myself from DJing so I could take my career to the next level with music production. Because with the DJing, it's like if you don't DJ, you don't get paid. But on the production game, you could eat forever. If you get, you know, a hit song or even songs that are charting and like people are streaming it, it's on radio. If you get a good handful of those songs, you could get crazy residual income, meaning I don't have to keep working to keep making that income. And so with the DJ game, when you've been in it 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, lugging around those heavy, DJ cases and packing up and driving home at 3 in the morning, that wears on your body. So I think in my late 20s, I really started to take that into consideration as a lot of the older generation, my OGs, the guys that kind of put me in the game, a lot of them stopped doing as many gigs. So I'm thinking like, man, this really ain't gonna last forever. So I need to plan on making money in another way. I need to take my passion and my music production career seriously, so that one day, I can get royalty checks, like real big royalty checks. And ever since then, ever since I made that decision, I want to say it was 2017, 2018, that I came to that realization. When I made that decision, told you, moved to LA after visiting LA one time. I moved there. When I got there, I met a whole bunch of people. You guys know the story. If you don't, I'll tell it again someday. But after I met who I met and the interactions that I had on that first LA trip, when I came back home, I sold everything I had. Anything of value that I had, I sold it. I sold my cars, I sold equipment, I sold everything, you know? My whole mindset was I need to do whatever it takes to get to LA because that's where it's all at. That's where the competition is at. That's where the work is at. That's where the artists and songwriters are at. And that's where I need to be because my beats were bad in 2017 or 2018. And if you're an artist or songwriter and we worked or we tried to work and, I just didn't know what I was doing, please forgive me. You know, at this point in my life and my career, I'm totally grateful. I'm grateful for the trip that I just came back on, going to Brooklyn, doing like 12, 15, I don't know if it was 12, 15 or 20 hours. It felt like I was in a time machine. I'm grateful for opportunities like that because when I was coming up, just the thought of something like that happening would just, I don't know. I could just bust out in the tears just thinking about it because I've come a long way, I've done a lot of stuff and obviously there's more stuff coming. I got more products and more things that you guys are about to see shortly. But when you just stop and you just take the time and think about where you were 5 years ago, 3 years ago, or even last year, you'll just look around and like, man, I used to pray for times like this, man. I used to just dream. Like when I was in high school, I would just sit there and just dream about moments like this. And I'm actually living it, like it's just some regular stuff to me now. Like I don't even think about it anymore. It's just like, another session, like just, I'm just so grateful. I'm 100% blessed and I'm grateful. And like I said, a lot of that comes from doing the work. I will keep saying this over and over. Your life can change in 1 year. Believe it or not, your life can change in 1 year. If you do the hard things and you don't run from things that are difficult or challenging or frustrated, and you start building up that confidence, your life will change in 1 year. I promise you. We can talk about that in another video if you guys want to hear that. Today's video was pretty much just wrapping up yesterday's video on why I stopped DJing. So anything else? I think I covered everything. Those were the pretty much the core reasons why I stopped DJing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Absolutely, man. I'm going to keep coming with these videos. I'm going to do one each and every day or at least put something out there. I hope you guys, like I said, I hope you guys are vibing with the content. The content is, like I said, it's a challenge. It's a challenge to keep doing videos and staying consistent. But I want to create a community of producers, artists, songwriters, or people that want to do something bigger with their lives. I want to create that community, So that's what we're doing on this platform. So like, comment, subscribe, and let's keep doing this thing. We can, like I said, we can all win together. It's enough money out there for all of us to win. So once again, it's the Young Gunner, DJ G-Wiz. We out.